Hello, and welcome to this fireside chat at Bio Europe Digital. I'm here today with Eric Halua from PDCLine Pharma. And today we're going to hear about PDCLine and its pipeline, and also the key decisions to relocate most of its activities from Grenoble in France to Liège in Belgium, and why being part of the Wallonia region's life science ecosystem is important to this specific company. Founded in April 2014 in France as a spin-off of the French Blood Bank, PDCLine Pharma is developing a novel class of off-the-shelf cancer immunotherapies based on a proprietary plasmacytoid dendritic cell line, hence the name PDCLine, preloaded with peptides that are derived from target tumor antigens. So Eric, can you tell me more about PDCLine Pharma, how it began and its core technology?
Okay, good morning, Claire, and thank you for the question. So PDCLine Pharma is a cancer vaccine company. Yeah? So as you have said, we are using a unique cell line, plasmacytoid dendritic cell lines that we load with peptides representative of antigens present on the tumor to infuse to patients and to try to treat cancer patients. So the company is currently ongoing a phase 1-2 clinical trial in non-small cell lung cancer. A first feasibility clinical trial has been already completed in melanoma on 9 patients, and lung cancer is ongoing on 62 patients. So the company today is a team of 25 people, based, as you said, mainly in Liège in Belgium, and we still have an affiliate in France close to Grenoble, more related to R&D activities. And we raise in total 32 million euros in equity and non-dilutive money from the Walloon regions, which was one of the main non-dilutive source of funding for the company. What is important to mention as well related to PDCLine is that we have signed a first licensing deal with an Asian company called LG Chem. LG is quite well known for the flat screen, but it as well one of the biggest chemical company in the world, and they have a growing life science divisions. And we signed a licensing out deals for the lung vaccine just in Asia, and the total deal value is $123 million plus royalties. So the history of PDCLine, so the company has been funded in Grenoble by Joël and Laurent, the two co-founders of the company in 2014. I joined the company in 2016. In 2014, the company was extremely small. It was 2-3 people based in Grenoble, as the technology was a spin-off from the French Blood Bank. In fact, Joël Plumat, the scientific founder, has identified in the blood of a very rare leukemia called plasmacytoid dendritic cell leukemia. And the cells of this patient have very interesting property in terms of ability to be cultivated in culture and the ability to stimulate the immune systems. And based on the blood of these patients and the white blood, we developed a master cell bank, GMP approved, that we are still using today as a vaccinal platform. So when I joined the company in end of 2015, beginning of 2016, I really recommended to develop the company in Belgium because I was already present in this area, even if I was French by nationality, and I was convinced about the ecosystem in Belgium was definitely the one to sustain the development of the company. So I became the president and CEO. And we moved from 3 people to 25 persons as we are today.
You've already touched on a couple of them, financing being a major one, but could you describe in more detail some of the key business decisions that factored into your relocation from to your research base in Liège? What were some of the other motivating factors behind the move?
Yeah, so in fact, I see at least 4 of them. The first one is definitely the financing. When I joined the company, the PDCLine, they just had some grants, non-dilutive money, but no equity, real equity outside the money provided by the funders. So we get very quickly after 3 months, first seed round of financing. with the arrival of Noshak, which is an investor base in the Liège area, plus business angels. We had a bit later arrival of the Meusinvest, which is another investor base in the Luxembourg area in Belgium. And plus non-dilutive money from the Walloon regions, which is extremely important at this early stage of development. So we get 4 million euros in 6 months. Then we raise a second round of financing in 2017 with arrival of what we call SFPI. It is the big and public bank investment fund in Belgium, and they have come in the company. We get 3 million euros with them and other investors, and we raise a third round of financing of 20 million euros end of last year, where we had additional Belgian investors like SRIW, like Sambrinvest, that joined the round at the top of Asian investors, because we had the arrival of Korea Investment Partners, which is one of the biggest investment funds in Asia, plus 2 other Asian funds that joined the company. So I would say the financing has been extremely important, because the majority of the fund over the next two rounds we have done was from Belgium origin. And the knowledge of the funds in the area where we are, cell therapy, immuno-oncology, is extremely good. The access to money is there. There is money to finance a biotech company. Second key element is the research, the strong research center that are present in the area. So the universities are extremely good. I think Belgium has one of the best universities in, I would say, in Europe and in the world in different areas. We had in Liège the Lab Hotel, so it's a facility where we could relocate and to get access very easily, just to rent, to have labs, fully equipped labs, and different platforms we could have access, like PCR, like clean rooms, etc. That was extremely interesting to limitate the cost invested in the beginning by the company. So that is extremely important. The ecosystems, I would say the general ecosystems, biotech, cell therapy, life science, is a key strength. In fact, the qualified staff that I've been able to get is as well a key element. In fact, half of my management team come from GSK Vaccine. We have in the headquarters of GSK Vaccine based in Wallonia, in the south part of Belgium, and the presence, the locations of these big R&D centers is definitely an opportunity, because you will have always people coming in, coming out, and provided very interesting value for a company like us, smaller biotech. There's as well Baxter, UCB, present in the field. And all these companies have as well a strong knowledge of cell therapy, how to cultivate cells, immuno-oncology as well. So that was extremely important for the locations of PDCLine in Belgium and certainly in Wallonia.
Okay. And the region does have multiple success stories, not only PDCLine Pharma, but Celyad, Bone Therapeutics, Itios Therapeutics. What kind of infrastructure does the region offer that really supports cell therapy R&D?
Yeah, I think it's another important point. So there is growing ecosystems and a lot more and more success story we see here in Wallonia, and the example of the company you provide are definitely the relevant one. I was previously as well CEO in another cell therapy company. So why all this success story? I think different elements can be mentioned. First of it, as I said, is related to the quality of the science in Wallonia, because several of these companies are spin-off from academic labs from these centers. The easiness to get clinical trial approval in Belgium, certainly for the first phase of clinical trials. It's definitely very important factors and key element, key differencing factors in Wallonia. We can get, we're very professional regulatory affair people in the agency, but they are flexible, they understand the needs of the company, and we don't have long delay to get the approval. Access to CDMO, the contract development and manufacturing organization, especially in cell therapy and gene therapy, is definitely a key strength that help this ecosystem to grow. We have the master cells, universe cells, and others that are present in the area that provide contract to this company and help as well to the development of knowledge in the area. And all the cell therapy manufacturing process innovation that exists here in Wallonia, access to logistics for frozen products, the different part of the element, the carriers, the CDMO, the regulatory affair peoples, consultants that are extremely knowledgeable as well in this area. So we have the full value chains present, and I think it's quite unique because when companies located in Wallonia and have access to all these elements, they are really onshore in the regions.
Very, very central to everything that's happening. I have been actually speaking to a number of the different manufacturing players in Wallonia, and they're actually being part of the BioEurope program as well. Some very interesting discussions, especially about how the pandemic has actually impacted their business and really given their profile a real shot in the arm in terms of just visibility and the role that they play within the larger biotech ecosystems. Is a very interesting point that you're making. What about the wider ecosystem? What are some of the soft benefits about being located in Wallonia?
Yeah, so in terms of soft aspect, I would mention the entrepreneurial attitude. You know, it's definitely one of the strengths generally in Belgium and specifically growing now in Wallonia. So the young scientists, the postdoc, the people from coming from the industries are now willing to develop startup, you know, and to take risk to develop this kind of innovations, and that definitely is a key element, you know, to start a strong ecosystems, and that is present in Belgium's. The other element are the incubator and science park that are present. So you have the biopark in Gosselies. You have a different park existing what we are based in Liège, like the Giga, I mentioned the Labotel, which is stick to big hospitals in Liège. You have others present as well in the territory. And these organizations provide very valuable advice, capabilities, space for the growth, to ensure the growth of the companies. The other element is the talent and experience. As I said previously, the fact in our example, we are in the cancer vaccine, you know, GSK in the past had a big activity in cancer vaccine and the major clinical trials. My current clinical chief medical officer is coming from GSK vaccine, and she was leading these programs. So it's an example of the knowledge that is present in the area and the experience of the people that are present here. And that definitely, when a company is growing, become a limiting factor. So you need to have access to a pool of talented people, which is present here. Other element, I would say, is the geographic crossroad and the proximity to the large markets. You know, in Belgium and you know in Liège, for example, we are close to Germany, we are close to Netherlands, by driving distance. But in general, in Wallonia, you can go very quickly to France. It's really central, and that helps. You know, definitely helps for the development and the internationalizations of the company. And when they come at the commercial stage, that become definitely key. Yeah? So that's another key element to mention.
And how have the regional benefits in Wallonia impacted PDCLine Pharma's global reach? You already mentioned the investment with LG Chem. Maybe you can expand on that a little bit.
Yes. So in fact, now I would say in cell therapy in general, the reagent is known worldwide. You know, it's due to the legacy, the success story of company. You mentioned Bone Therapeutics, Celiad, and others that grow, you know, and become public. Made IPO for Celiad in Nasdaq, and so the awareness were become bigger and bigger. So it definitely helped us, you know, when we developed the deal with LG Chem, because they knew that due to the locations we had already passed some different elements and due diligence in terms of quality. When we have made the second round the third round, sorry, of financing last year, end of last year, the 20 million euros, we get access to a Korea investment partner because one of the elements was as well the signing of the deal with LG Chem, which is very known in South Korea. And the fact that we are present in Belgium, in Wallonia, KIP has already invested in other company in the area, was definitely another element, you know, that helps. So it's something I would like to mention. And the connections we can make with other R&D centers is definitely important, thanks to the awareness we have been able to do. The role of BioWin, you know, the bioclusters, what we call the pôle de compétitivité in French, is extremely important as well in this field.
Well, thank you very much for discussing this with me today. It was interesting to learn more, not just about PDCLine Pharma, but also about the region that you're based in Wallonia. Thanks very much, Eric.
Thank you, Claire. It's a pleasure.